Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, host Imperial Dane, and welcome to another Monday Novice fight. Yes, indeed, we'll be seeing some squirming, some mistakes, some flaws, but that's certainly only what endears these lovely little novices to us as we sort of try to figure out what they do right, what they do wrong, and try to help all the other novices and perhaps provide some entertainment for the veterans. It's going to be a 1 versus 1 in the darkness of Semois. Yes, indeed, in the darkness of Semois. Who shall be fighting, of course, is the ever-eternal question. Well, here in the northern corner, we are seeing Pakna. Yes, indeed, Pakna. Fighting for the 3rd Infantry Division of the Americans. Opposing him shall be Rakke. Rakke fighting for the 107th Panzer Brigade somewhere here in Lorraine Alsace-Lorraine Region, which I've suddenly decided Semois fits into. Yes, indeed, a bit of imagination always fits in nicely. And in fact, let's get right down to the action. Let us see what these two chaps shall be up to. Whatever Pakna shall be up to, and he's got no barracks on the way. In fact, he's going for a 4 engineer start, a pretty bold start. In fact, for a bit of an, I believe he's about rank 10. He might be a bit higher than that. I mean, it might be a bit lower than that. No, apologies certainly if he feels offended. No such thing was intended. As usual, even I can make mistakes, I suppose. But Engineers sort of spreading out here, and we are also seeing a pretty different start here from Rakke, as well as seeing 3 Pioneers start. Also a bit bold, and again, they're not the high-tier players against such Pioneer-heavy or Engineer-heavy strategies. Are certainly a bit more unusual, but certainly they're trying, I imagine, to improve, to do something bold, to do something different. And that's always nice to see. And we are immediately, of course, seeing he's setting up the barracks up with the 3rd engineer team. I usually believe they do so with the last engineer team, rather, and thus getting more territory right off the bat. But of course, at the same time, this sort of engineer-heavy strategy might, of course, receive a bit of a counter, at least a bit of a obstacle in the pioneer-heavy strategy, and he's in fact going straight for the fuel points. Quite interesting enough, of course, and he's going for the bike secondly. Perhaps to do a bit of harassment, perhaps to support some of the pioneers. And there we go, barracks up. Engineers heading all ways, although it looks like most of them will be heading towards here. Bike moving up. And what else shall be on the way from the Wehrmacht quarters, I do not know. Rifleman some way away, and of course, I mean, that's going to be some time anyways, had he waited with those engineers for the 4th team. I mean, it might have been a bit better time, actually. And again, he might have been able to get some more ground early on. But now the engineers are heading towards the center, towards the left. Bike moving up there, catching some engineers. MG firing at these poor, unfortunate engineers, and he's going back to the base. And some pioneers apparently have made a huge run from here to over there, trying to secure some munitions there. What further units on the way there? Shall we see some infantry? And also, fun fact about the Panzer Brigade, I suppose I might as well talk a bit about them. They were sort of a unique formation as to sort of try and create a more mobile panzer force, slightly slimmed up. They basically had armor, infantry. In some cases, I believe they might have had some pioneers and some reconnaissance troops, but what they really were lacking in was artillery. They had barely, if any, artillery, and what artillery had might have probably been more sort of organic in the infantry units, if I'm not mistaken, which would have been mortars. That was about it. I mean, they were not heavily equipped, and plus some of the earlier ones, like say the 107th, were also pretty weak on the armor. They only had 1 battalion. Later sort of series of the Panzer battalions, which came later on, had 2 battalions of armor. So it's like a little fun fact there. Some might also have Sturmgeschütz. There's of course no real sort of full organization, and those sort of were ideal conditions which weren't really sort of always available to the Wehrmacht at the later stages of the war. Engineers are coming under fire. Volksgunners have arrived as well. Right, and they're moving in for the flank. Jolly good job there by Pakna, while the engineers keep the Wehrmacht occupied. Bike and Volksgunners so seem to be reacting a bit too late. And these pioneers doing some terrible things to these engineers, although they need to get away. And there we go, the engineers running. Volksgunners need to get to cover. And where's the bike? Why is the bike supporting? Come on, Rakke, you stupid tosser. Do a bit of support for your Volksgunners. I mean, it has a light LMG. You could have done some damage to these rifles, but of course it's now too bloody late. Much too late, I think. Now, of course, the Volksgunners are getting rushed, and they're quickly getting forced off. And really, this could have been avoided had he had, been a bit more aggressive, a bit more bold right there in the early game. So things, of course, important to note. I mean, certainly the bike sort of in the early game sort of serves as a scout, but it can also of course serve as the support unit for this sort of main force, which of course is always the infantry. Infantry is quite vital in Company of Heroes, so in this sort of thing you should always try to build your force around. They're one of the most flexible units in the game. So again, always sort of try to think with infantry and MG moving up, but again, absolutely no reconnaissance. The bike basically moving around, not ensuring the way is clear for the MG. Definitely a flaw there, a mistake by the novices again. There's the sort of idea that, oh right, it's an MG, it's an infantry counter, I can just in it. No, you can't. Counters has sort of gone out of the window. You sort of have to more think in roles. And of course, also remember those roles have weaknesses. And stuff like this should sort of be considered heavy support weapons, and they are not quite as mobile, and thus they need something to lead the way so they can spot in time. Of course, just some sort of security unit. They should not be sent in on their own. Volkswagen is not being too well, and now there we go. Right from those suffering some losses as they were in the negative cover, and again negative cover means units are easier to hit and kill. Once more, the squad leader seems to die first. I'm not entirely sure if that's actually by design, which would certainly reveal a bit of a flaw in the Volkswagen unit, I think. Rather than getting hunted down, Volkswagen is pushing on for the fatherland. Glory and the Third Reich. But a slightly more stable force now up for Rakke and the 107th Panzer Brigade. Volkswagen is caught out in the open. Oh dear, taking a point while under fire. Bad move. Bad move. Dear novices, never sort of tried to do that. Generally consider a pretty damn bad idea. We are seeing 3 riflemen out and 4 engineers. 2 of those equipped with flamethrowers, but they don't really seem to be anywhere near the front where they might actually do some damage. Right inside the church, flamethrower of the German kind moving up, Flammenwerfer. And this could be a bit of a problem. French churches were never really built to resist German fire. And the riflemen might soon be going up in flames as they cling to all to wine and old tapestry. And there we go. 4 riflemen down. Only 1 man makes it out of there. What used to be a temple of God has now become a house of burning. Which doesn't really sound very poetic. I must apologize. But the Wehrmacht pushing on. Bit of a... Well, I suppose it could have had a bit more. I mean, it's not really the strongest early tier. I mean, he basically only has 2 Volkswagen teams, an MG42 and a bike. And we'll have an opponent with several engineers and several riflemen. I'm not entirely sure how well that might go, although he already has supplied, of course, he might be getting something like, say, armor, of course. Rakke is preparing for that, so of course he got that right, at least again. Basically, the rule of thumb being, if you don't see something like, say, BARs or grenades on your opponent's rifleman, he's going for armored cars, so prepare for that. And those are the sort of timing tricks you have to remember. If you don't see A, then expect B. And, oh dear, oh mine, going down there by Pakna quite nicely. Not so nice for Rakke, who lost it. Flamethrowers moving in against Church MG, forcing the MG back to the base. Back to base with you, you silly MG. Volkswagen is in the cemetery. Pioneer begging for help, wishing not to become part, but sadly he was. And these Volkswagen basically just need to get out of there. They are surrounded, not in good condition, while they're hoping to get those flamethrower chaps. Rückzug, Männer, Rückzug, and there we go. Kampfkraft sent up for Rakke as well. Volkswagen is moving out, and we are seeing a motor pool up for Pakna, getting an armored car at the same time. Flamethrower pioneers a bit close to the front. Not looking too well for the Wehrmacht at this stage. They need to push hard for the fatherland and the Panzer Brigade. The Panzer Brigades, though, in most cases didn't really survive long after some early fights, which rather showed for the large part they, of course, were lacking on organic artillery, and they certainly had some problems. So in most cases, they were basically dissolved, used as replacements. Only a few ones basically hung around as they'd proven their worth and advantages, so of course, and were basically stuck around as a sort of armored reserve for some corps and such. I believe the 106th and 107th Panzer Brigade basically were the ones, which I suppose is rather ironic since they were actually the most sort of less well equipped. Pioneers are running into problem as they're charging across negative cover again. Try to stay out of negative cover and making an assault. Might have been a better idea. Let's just briefly pause to sort of try to move through here. The Bokar sneak up here. Had some of the shit come, and of course then use the cover to get close to the rifleman that way. Rather than, you know, just charge. Slight detail there. MG ready, and he's gotten veterans he wants for the support units. But I think the MG might have been up a bit too late. It needs to get out of there. And by out of there, I do mean out of there. There's flamethrowers moving in. There's barely any health. And there we go. MG getting the bloody hell out of there. Mortar up for Rakke. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. Veterans who want for that actually makes it fire slightly faster, I believe. Rakke, though, needs to push. Forwards. Forwards. Immer forwards. And there we go. First mortar round landing in the market square. Blowing up some few crates of expensive French cheeses. Or garlic, I don't know. Possibly baguettes. Stale ones, obviously. Small push here. Some folks going to equip with MP40s. That's going to help a bit better. And there we go. Charging right into things. So again, try to stay in cover. And of course, remember, MP40s are a lot more accurate when standing still. And apparently he didn't quite get that. But again, as a rule of thumb, most weapons are a lot more accurate when still. In particular, MP40 stuff like that. That really applies there. So try to remember that. And of course, stuff like the LMG-42 doesn't even fire while moving. Armored car running into Pioneers. Pioneers need to get out of there, not lay down a mine in front of it. Come on, get out there. I mean, he's basically spotted anyways. I mean, and of course, if your opponent spots you doing a mine, you might as well cancel it. Of course, unless he's suffering from, I don't know, goldfish memory syndrome, and of course can't remember 5 seconds ahead, he will of course deal with it in some manner. So again, basically cancel it, no point in that. The surprise has been ruined. I mean, mines are a bit like surprise party. There's no fun if the guy you're sort of trying to surprise already knows that it's there. Mortars flying through the air. Not sure what they're intending to do, but Pakna doing an excellent job. Really getting down a lot of mines. Going to make things hard for the Panzer Brigade. Trying to sort of get ready. No minesweepers though, a bit tragic. A bit of infantry for the infantry. Grenadiers arriving. Pack there. Let's suggest slightly more vigorous offense from Rakke. Not sure what name that is supposed to be anyways. Hiccup. But again, mines, and in this case, right at the cover. Basically hoping to deny the opponent cover. That's certainly a nice way. I mean, it's also certainly a good way to sort of draw him in. Oh, wait, there's some covers there. Let's move up to it, Hans. And then, click, boom. MG moving up there, though, has to be careful. Of course, flamethrowers. There we go, the engineer's getting stopped. And, of course, fun thing to note about veterans who want for the MG-42 makes it a lot more accurate. And also allows it to do more damage. Will the engineer survive? Yes, indeed. Riflemen getting pushed out. Flamethrowers burning them all, interring all. Oh, my goodness, it's a massacre. A lot of American riflemen just died there. Pakna suffered an absolute blow right there. Heavy losses. And the M8 moving into everything. Grenadiers with the Panzer. Panzer out there, Kanone blasting away. Not entirely sure if a Panzer Brigade would actually pack, but I suppose they could have found it somewhere. Picked it up alongside. I got it from some other unit to provide support. And of course, Grenadiers screaming, American armor sighted, and Senec gets blown up by the glorious pack gunners with their giant gun, which of course they are trying to hide. Another M8 moving up, but again, not really the best dispersion of troops, and of course this area basically has been secured by the Americans. He needs to be a bit more aggressive pushing there. Observation post going out for Pakna at the munitions, so obviously he's hoping for something to perhaps keep supplying him with, well, you know, munitions, more mines. More mines delivered by the Pitlevsky Corporation. Although probably not. More grenadiers though out for Rakke. And a bunker, although I suppose it might be a better day to sort of try and place it a bit far away from the front line. General rule of thumb, I'd like to sort of argue. Keep it as sort of close to the front line, but not at the front line. And looks like a reconnaissance run moving in. Trying to spot the army. The Krauts. and some flamethrower engineers running into some rather severe MP40 fire. Looks like those engineers will not be making it home to enjoy mashed potatoes and pork chops. Not entirely sure on the American diet at this stage of the war. But a small, rather severe assault force, lots of pioneers with flamethrowers and MP40s, and some units perhaps moving up there. And looks like, might look like it just vanished. It's a stealth greyhound, or probably not. Nonetheless, Pakna's armored car on the prowl. Grenadiers without a Panzer to stop, and he's gone defensive. Not entirely sure, considering the circumstances, that's actually what he wants to go for. And these pioneers got gunned down. Oh no, I mean, I'd rather perhaps recommend him getting perhaps Blitzkrieg or Terror, something that could help him, you know, push onwards despite losses. Evil American losses. And looks like Pakna's moving forward in one huge force. Do try to be careful with that. Flamethrower pioneers trying to burn away this evil observation post. This lair of American munitions. This den of evil. And the American M8 on a raid towards the Wehrmacht base. Grenadiers with Panzer quickly getting pushed back. Pak moving in as well. Anti-tank uncovering the central approach there. And Americans moving up here. Will there be a reaction force from the Wehrmacht? Apparently not. No real reaction force there. M8 moving about. Looks like the Pak will be getting off a good shot or two. No. Mortar round though. Managed to damage the engine, and mine goes down right there. Pak fire blasting away. Grenadiers moving in. Will that Pak fire get it? No. Pak misses. Pak misses. Oh dear. Will the Greyhound make it? Main gun destroyed. Engine damaged. Again, damaged engine. Pioneers head off the Greyhound mine. That was actually quite a waste then. Only got one Pioneer who was probably already wounded. The outer forces though here need to push up here. Quickly counterattack. Pakna has to be the answer for his riflemen. Come on, Grenadiers. Hunt down this filthy dog. Sure, it's a might of true German engineering. And the driver is sort of going, oh, please don't let the Krauts catch me. I'm only 1 day away from retirement. Or something like that. That's how it goes in those movies. Except not in the army. And obviously he did not make it. All a bit of action right here. Germans have managed to stabilize the situation. Might be an idea to use some barbed wire for Mr. Wehrmacht, for Mr. Rakke. Again, barbed wire usually helpful. Sandbags helpful. More MP40s being equipped. The Panzer Brigade apparently having managed to secure small cars of submachine guns. Reconnaissance run again. For some reason, when I see that, I think, oh goodness gracious, a strafing run. Now, obviously, Paggy's just happy to. Pakna, not Pakke, but Pakna is quite just happy to, you know, do a bit of reconnaissance, have an idea of what his opponent's up to, and then proceed to run straight into heavy machine gun fire. Absolutely brilliant, Pakna. Absolutely brilliant, clever, and now getting ambushed. Oh dear, Volksgunners and flamethrowers moving in from the rear. MGs and oh dear, Pakna. That was something you clearly hadn't expected. And no, the engineer flamethrower tank burst. Oh, it's a bonfire. But at the same time, force moving in through here, but apparently pulling out. Half-track has arrived out of nowhere. Perhaps to reinforce, perhaps to get some quad mounts, perhaps to do this, perhaps to do that. So many options. 50 caliber though is quickly secured. Lovely machine gun, can do quite nice damage to German infantry. And there we go. And it can't even suppress with enough volume, although Volksgunners with veterans to actually gain suppression resistance. There with MP40s, Grenadiers could also get up some grenades. No, they're getting a Panzercheck. 50 caliber moves up. And the Germans pull out. It looks like a Sturmarmy is on the way for Rakke, who's slowing a bit of resources again. Had he gone for Blitzkrieg, he could have been getting a Stormtroopers or a Stu-42 at this rate. And the observation post does get knocked out. Pakna, though, quick to avenge it. He was friends with that observation post. Or possibly not. Rather than moving through here in the darkness. Mortar firing into the darkness. Trying to combat the darkness. Riflemen coming under heavy fire. MG, mortar, MP40 K98K, Panzerschreck, all of it. Looks like one rifleman standing on the wrong side, getting gunned down. Registered artillery again, floating resources. Always try to avoid that. Always try to avoid that unless you have a very, very specific plan in mind and you already know what to do with every single piece of manpower, which I'm not entirely sure Rakke does. He's going straight for the Panzer Command. I think he might have been better getting a Sturm on and then perhaps an armoured car instead of going straight for the Panzer Command upgrades. So, phase. Mortar getting hunted down. Fuel point being cut off for some very bold Volksgrenadier raiders. And another push away after the American riflemen. Not really looking too good for Pakna at the moment. The 107th Panzer Brigade doing a bit of nasty damage. But looks like the half-track is up to something with the quad AA mount. Whatever could it be? Do not ask me. And that rhyme, there we go. The Grenadiers caught on their own. And there we go, 450 caliber anti-aircraft guns firing away. Grenadiers getting suppressed and they need to get out of there, and which they actually do. Hooray, huzzah. And get that Panzer Command up then, Rakke, get it up. You're basically being going for it now. Bloody well get it, there we go. Though he will be lacking in munitions. I mean fuel, and he doesn't have an observation post on the fuel point again. I suppose like say something like again Blitzkrieg, Stu 42 would probably have been a more help at this stage. And Grenadiers facing off against some lonely engineers. And one even bites dust on the retreat. So far no real wounded though for Rakke. I mean he has a bunker but he's not really producing any sort of wounded for it to pick up. Half-tech on the move in the north. Another Greyhound. Pack still anti-tank gun, I mean, waiting there. My apologies, it's a bit late here and I'm a bit tired. Panzer Command, they're going up for Rakke. Mortar sorted out by a pretty bold raid by that. Little half-track, and Volksgrenadier is taking front right in front of the M8. Not a good idea, and they are quick to realise that. Good soldiers as they are. And Grenadiers riding straight into a lot of riflemen with BARs. Not quite good either. And it's actually time to have a look at Pakna, and it's time for a mid-game analysis. Current situation. Well, a bit grim for either side, but I really think, again, it might be Rakke who's in the most trouble. Again, he's been floating too many resources, thus allowing Pakna to basically sort of get over all the losses he suffered early on, make good on them, and then get more stuff, while, you know, Rakke has basically been waiting to get the Panzer Command, really letting go on any advantage he could have gained. He's also gone defensive, which again also let go of that, when again going Blitzkrieg perhaps could have allowed him to, you know, push harder against the American Teufel. So again, a lot of missed opportunities right there from Rakke, and of course let's hope he actually gets something out of that Panzer Command, although I don't think he has the fuel for it, which again is a bit of a problem. But let us return to the fight. Pakna might consider getting a melee station or perhaps a Panzer Command. No, instead he's getting airborne Screaming Eagles. And a Grenadier team got absolutely wiped out. Rakke. The only sort of thing that's going to end up giving you is a trip to the Eastern Front. And a penal battalion. And some engineers trying to lay down a mine right in front of the MG. Not as a good idea. Mortar not recruit though. I do find that a bit of a miss. Rifle charging, and these Grenadiers who are without real support. Again, not much infantry all of a sudden for Rakke, I think. Oh wait, never mind. He's moving in all of his Volksgrenadiers towards the south. Riflemen on the run. Panzer Command not doing anything. He could be getting Knight's Cross at the very bloody least. Knight's Cross. Ritterkreuz. Veteran Infantry, veteran Panzer Grenadiers. And these riflemen are is a lot of problem. Volksgrenadiers charging forwards. With the nasty MP40s again, remember, standing still, much more accurate. Volksgrenadiers are getting suppressed by another team moving in. And thus breaking the riflemen, sending them into a full retreat. Pack firing away at some city riflemen. Half-tech moving right past the MG. Nothing to really stop it though. Bit of a shame there. Bit of a shame. Still nothing from the Panzer Command. Although it looks like something might be coming out of the Wehrmacht quarters. And we are seeing a nice flank going straight for the throat, straight for the pack, and there's nothing to stop it. Oh, Rakke, what are you doing, you? Incredibly silly Wehrmacht person. And I fear this pack might be in a lot of trouble. MG42 trying to move to set up. Trying, and Grenadiers also moving in. However, shall this go? And a half-track moving into flank. Looks like a pack ready and a sniper out for Rakke. Again, I've recommended some Knight's Cross, I think. Might have done more against those riflemen. Gun them down with the mighty Sturmgewehrs. Pack recruit. Other moving about. Finally something on the way from the Panzer Command. About bloody time. Taking away territory from that silly German commander. Pakna doing a jolly good job. Sniper of his own in the way. Grenades on the way. So pretty much getting ready to really mount a heavy assault. Really try to bleed. Rakke try. And I certainly suspect he'll get away with it. And Pioneers rising right into the M8. Where are the anti-tank answers? They seem to be rather far from the front. And oh dear! Registered artillery barrage, knocking out almost an entire airborne unit. Looks like a Panzer IV was ready. Most Panzer Brigades actually were mostly equipped with Panthers, actually. Although some did get Panzer IVs in the later stages. And some basically just got whatever was available. I think in one case there was an SS Panzer Brigade of the more ad hoc kind, which basically got Panzer IVs and Panzer IIIs and some Stuks, and that was basically its armor. Though it did have more infantry than most other brigades had. Also, fun fact, the SS didn't actually have many Panzer Brigades at all. I think there might have been 2 or 3. That was about it. MG42 in a lot of trouble, has to be careful again, running right in front of everything without reconnaissance. Bad idea. Greyhound moving in for flanking. Panzer IV dealing with the half-track down here. Half-track not moving away. Unit dead. MG finally gone. Pioneers rushing in for the fatherland up. Sniper sniping. Pack sorted out. Units aren't dying. That might have been actually the half-track Grenadiers trying to enforce. And a demo charge on the medic bunker, sorting that out swiftly. Where is the Panzer IV? Where is the Panzerkampfwagen to support the Panzer Brigade? Come on, Rakke. Tempo, tempo, tempo. Looks like things are just falling utterly apart. Sniper getting shot down. And why is that Panzer IV not moving up to the front? Come on, Rakke. No excuses. And a registered artillery barrage does a bit of damage. But nothing really devastating though to Rakke. And of course with the destruction of the half-track, Pakna does get another anti-tank gun to deal with that. But come on, Rakke, push on, push on. Quickly, you very silly person. The fatherland depends on it. Let's speed this up a bit. Panzer IV running straight into an anti-tank gun without support. Volkskrone is dealing with some riflemen. MP40 is firing through, I know, the outdoor cafe. And these riflemen are pretty quickly losing. Might even be going down. No! One rifle makes it away from those nastily equipped Volksgrenadiere. And Panzer IV quickly pulling back for some repairs. Bunker going up. Could be a medic bunker again. I mean, 2 wounded away from a full grenadier team. That might consider it. And now the Volkskrone out in the open getting shot at. Not really doing well. Pakna now is having more or less resort to basically more of a bludgeoning strategy. Sniper pushing on. Grenadiers getting sniped. Nothing from the Panzer Command. Seems a bit of a shame. And these Grenadiers just need to get out of there. Rakke, get them out of there, you. Get!
Troops can now make sticky bombs.
Oh dear, he might even go down either to the sniper or mine. No, he survives it all. No, riflemen get him. Yeah, just as they got the sniper. Will this be? No, not lucky Hans. Grenadiers sind tot. Panzer IV getting repaired, and again heavy losses. Infantry losses of quite the magnitude, and there really seems to be no replacements. And looks like a race set of artillery barrage force away those riflemen. But come on, Rakke, come on. Let's just speed this up a bit. Anti-tank are moving up. Pakna certainly could also be a bit faster, I think, in those cases. A mortar on the way to keep up the pressure. Another bunker up. Not entirely sure what he's hoping to do, and these false grenades need to get moving. Back to the fight. Bunker getting hammered by anti-tank on fire. Smoke going down to support the false grenades in the center. Quite rare to see smoke, actually. So quite interesting, but looks like the smoke barrage has been dropped. Bike down, sniper on the retreat. Grenadiers against airborne in the north. Come on, get the Panzer IV in. Rakke, use your Panzer IV. You pansy. And these grenadiers are a lot of trouble. Mortar fire, they're planning to port, but get the grenadiers out there, Rakke. Unit preservation, you did alright in the beginning. Don't fail me now. Don't fail the fatherland. The penalty is high. And no, he lost the grenadiers again. Come on, Rakke. Get them out of there when they're in a bad condition and clearly outgunned by automatic weapons. For heaven's sake. This isn't the Soviet army. That's not just another bunch of ill-trained peasants ready to take over the guns after the first wave has failed. No, never mind, that wasn't really near where the well, the waves were, but not so much that they lacked weapons. They lacked boots, they lacked trucks, but they never lacked weapons for the infantry. Funny that. And down to some false grenadiers. Will there be Knight's Cross, or will there just be more grenadiers being shoved into the grinder? American mortar hoping perhaps to get the German one. Apparently 2 mortars up for Rakke. That seems a bit excessive, in particular when he needs infantry to do the fighting. Come on, Rakke, don't disappoint me now. Please. Let's return to Rakke. Erstwhile commander of the 107th Panzer Brigade. Oh dear, sniper getting hunted down, but apparently he dodges it all, including Panzer IV fire. Though false grenades need to stop taking the point. Stop. Press the big hand with the stop on it. And bike running into problem rifle and airborne. Oh, more units lost. Rakke, for heaven's sake. Have you even played the game? I know he has, but really he's not really getting good at the unit preservation bit. Knight's Cross finally arriving. I mean, about damn time. Getting some more infantry. I mean, that's basically what he has. I mean, he's down to 2 mortars, an anti-tank gun, and a Panzer IV. I mean, he's really thrown away a lot of opportunities again. Terrible preservation of infantry. Now just charging in the Knight's Cross into all of these riflemen with BARs, and he's not even stopping again. Let's just briefly pause. Units are more accurate when standing still. In particular, automatic weapons. So don't charge in your Knight's Cross like that into 2 rifleman teams with veterancy and BARs. Please, for heaven's sake. And let us return to the fight. Knight's Cross getting, absolutely slaughtered. For the father. And again, much too late retreat from Rakke. Although in this case, it looks like the Knight's Cross for once make it out of there. Flaps all of a sudden they decide to be a bit funny. Mortars firing away, barraging everything they can get to. Panzer IV holding the line, but it's getting hit by anti-tank on fire. Why hasn't he pulled it away? Again, unit preservation. Maneuvering, and of course just unit positioning. For heaven's sake, Rakke. And in this stage, he's pretty much lost everything.
They're losing territory.
And he's not getting anything else. And again, he's pretty much also sort of left himself with any real chance to sort of counter-attack now. Because again, he went defensive. Another demo charge. Jolly good choice there by Pakna.
Our forward supply lines are broken.
Anti-tank gun for some reason all over there. Knights Cross once more screaming forth. Grenadiers doing what they can. Mortar rounds flying through the air. Could do quite a bit of damage if they hit. Grenadiers, they're also taking some losses. And he's just basically barraging this area. Only knocking out the anti-tank gun. Flamethrowers moving up to deal with the second bunker. Resources floated. Will there be another Panzer on the way for Rakke? No, now he's getting a Panzer. Come on, this side, Rakke. Oh dear. Looks like a nice massacre. Sniper getting caught by the Knights Cross. And then hunted down. Well, looks like the sniper makes it away. American mortars sneaking up on the German ones. Who will get who? Apparently the German mortars are... Oh wait, there we go. American mortar completely annihilated.
We can now build heavy flak cannons.
Let's speed up. And flak, you don't need flak. You need stormtrooper Stooge Tigers or King Tigers or Manpower Blitz, something. And he's just firing blindly with his mortars, hoping to catch something again, which I really think rather describes the sort of frantic and desperate situation that Rakke has managed to place himself in, for heaven's sake. Driving ourselves in some losses. And in this case, the blind firing of the mortar actually did some damage to the right. But these Knights Cross need to get out there for the fatherland. It's not suddenly going to get them to make them that much tougher. And there we go, down to one man. And in this case, they did not survive again. Rakke, poor unit preservation, now sending in his Panzer IV on its own without support. Bad move. Bad move. And airborne are moving in from the rear. This could easily be the end of the Panzer IV. Another sticky bomb, and let's just finish this off. Mortars are firing, and let's just stop there. I mean, Rakke has pretty much thrown away all of his chances. Again, not really having the full idea what he's doing. And of course, I mean, what sort of lessons can be learned from this? I mean, in this case, I mean, we saw some lessons about, you know, maneuvering, about taking chances, and of course, failing to take chances, which is rather partly what Rakke failed to do. Bunkers a bit too close to the front line, but also unit preservation again. That was rather the flaw of Rakke. He threw away too much infantry all of a sudden for no apparent reason. Send them in on their own again. Do not send infantry in piecemeal. I mean, usually infantry works better with other infantry. Main issue here with Rakke again. Just sending in full screens of grenadiers on their own, half the time getting them killed. Bad idea. Same with the Panzers. Poor positioning, without infantry support, knocked out. And also doctrinal choice really played in here. He went for defensive when he clearly should have gone for something a bit more offensive to help him take territory. So also in that way, bad. Very bad. Pakna could have done with a medic station himself, but otherwise he actually did pretty well, countered whatever Rakke did, and kept up the pressure and good mining. So there you go. Do hope you enjoyed this fight. If you did, why not subscribe or tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.